Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hello and welcome to the Corbin Spicer podcast, where we run the rule over the most impactful elements of education today. I am your host, of course, Corbin Spicer, and in this episode we are going to explore why PDHPE is such a valuable area of the curriculum for K-6 students. Woo! So PDHPE is not solely about keeping young people active, but rather providing knowledge and skills for a healthy, active and fulfilling life. The New South Wales K-6 PDHPE syllabus provides an in-depth understanding of health and well-being and self-management and interpersonal skills and motivating lifelong participation in physical activity. These aren't just academic goals, they're life skills our students carry with them beyond the classroom into their future. So to show our students how their life decisions can affect their life and the lives around them, we are setting them up to be confident yet careful about the complexities of life. More than the learning of the rules of a game, it is teaching the rules of life, making sure every child has the tools to live in a rapidly changing world. In this episode, we look at how these objectives come to life in the classroom and why PDHPE will always be an important part of the students' education. So stay tuned as we unpack the value of PDHPE and its role in shaping a healthier, brighter future for our kids. The Game Sense approach represents a pedagogical innovation refocused on instructional priority from skill-based instruction to holistic game and sports understanding. Instead of isolating skills, Game Sense approach enables students to learn about the related technical and tactical abilities in the context of a game. It deals with understanding the why behind actions and develops decision-making, creativity and strategic thinking. According to Light and colleagues in 2012 study, GSA situates students in game-like scenarios, which they are called upon to think critically and adapt to changing situations. In this way, learning becomes more engaged and inclusive, and students of all levels and of abilities can participate meaningfully. As students learn by attending to game-associated concepts and the flow play, this approach encourages experimenting, communication, and collaborating in the dynamic context of a game. Among many strengths of GSA as an instructional strategy lies its most strong alignment to the New South Wales K-6 PDHPE syllabus, more specifically within the focused area of movement. This strand focuses on developing movement skills, concepts and strategies that help improve physical activity and performance. As we know on this podcast, GSA can help teachers work towards outcomes of stage 2, such as demonstrating movement skills in a variety of games and activities, according to the syllabus, by putting into actual game situations that learn skills and making the process of learning relevant and fun for students. Besides, GSA is an innovative, enhancing equity and social development. Fletcher and Cronin 2022 emphasized that pedagogies of deep and meaningful experiences have created a more engaging learning environment in PDHPE. The effective teaching and learning in this regard are concerned with the respect towards each other, teaching with teamwork and resilience beyond playing fields. The Game Sense approach represents a dynamic, student-centered way of teaching physical education. It focuses not only on students' improvement in physical skills, but also in developing critical thinking, cooperation, and gaining deeper understandings about the nature of games. Ahoy and welcome back to the Corbin Spicer podcast. Today we are exploring week 2's theme, learning across the curriculum. This week has deepened my appreciation for teaching as more than just content delivery. It's about creating an engaging, purposeful and inclusive environment where every student can thrive. In PDHPE, I've realised that every lesson is an opportunity to impact students' lives. Teaching responsible drinking and promoting physical activity isn't just about facts. It's about instilling lifetime habits. The New South Wales K-10 syllabus emphasises skills for making informed health decisions, shifting my perspective from knowledge transfer to guiding students towards better living. One key insight this week was the importance of teaching students how to navigate food labels amidst social media's health influences. Scott et al. 2021 highlight that a critical inquiry approach helps students question what's truly beneficial for their health, showing me how vital it is to equip students with critical thinking skills. I also experienced a shift in understanding through the integration of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories via traditional games. According to Wrench and Garrett in 2021, culturally responsive pedagogy helps students connect with Australia's heritage while developing physicality. This reinforces how teaching can bridge cultural understanding and identity. Additionally, using traditional Asian games to promote cultural awareness has shown me the value of fostering respect and inclusion in the classroom. These activities teach more than just physical skills. They promote embracing diversity in our multicultural society. Also, sustainability was another eye-opener. Williams 2022 points out that linking health education with environmental action, like school cleanups and other things of that nature, cultivate value for a sustainable future. This has reshaped my view of teaching as preparing students to be proactive citizens and not just addressing immediate needs. Finally, focusing on critical thinking, ethical understanding and digital literacy has reinforced that teaching is about shaping well-rounded individuals. Encouraging students to challenge the norms and respect diverse perspectives is crucial for their development as empathetic, open-minded individuals. Overall, that's it for today. This week's topic has truly highlighted the importance and thoughtful planning and inclusivity in teaching. It's about more than just the curriculum. It's about fostering meaningful growth in every student. Until next time, ciao. Hello, and welcome back to the Corbin Spicer podcast. Let me share an experience that I recently transformed my view on teaching PDHPE. So myself and a group of other students were at this place called the Morris EMA Sports Centre. I know, sounds crazy. I had a practical lesson featuring an Aboriginal game called Borinjin. It opened my eyes to the true depth of PDHPE just beyond physical fitness. So let's dive into Borinjin. Borinjin was a game much like Frisbee golf, where students would throw a ball instead of a Frisbee to each other in a race to get it across the line to the other side. If you got tagged with the ball, you had to stand still and you could not move. If you got tagged without the ball, you could still move, but you had to wait 10 seconds. Overall, teaching this game opened my eyes to teaching overall. It's the first actual experience I've had personally teaching an activity or anything for that matter in the sense of teaching as a teacher. And I thought it was very good for me to be able to do that with such great people. So watching the students engaged with Borinjin, I saw the power of cultural games that inspire not only the physical energy, but also the mental sharpness. Randall and Fleet in 2021 emphasised that the value of traditional games to boost engagement and cognitive growth is very important. More importantly, this experience taught me that leading such a game as a pre-service teacher built my confidence. Facilitating Borinjin made me realise that I could guide and engage students effectively. It is a valuable lesson on how PDHPE fosters not only just physical well-being, but also personal growth for educators. Thank you very much. We will be back again for next week. Ciao. Hello and welcome back. We are back here, ahoy, of course. Sorry I got to say that, to the Corbin Spicer podcast. And today we are reflecting on week 6 focus lesson on planning in PDHPE. Straight off the bat, delving into the New South Wales K-6 PDHPE curriculum has truly made me appreciate how meaningful planning and practices of inclusion really transform the teaching experiences. Ask yourself, dear listener, when was the last time there wasn't an inclusion in today's society? You don't hear about it anymore, which is a great news. We are moving forward as a society in teaching diversity and teaching equality. The first valuable point was utilising the strength cards in order to make students aware of their very special abilities. As we went over this, such an approach was made more aware to me as Barnett et al. State. PDHPE is marked by strengths not gendered, and such an atmosphere allows students to feel welcome and included. From this point on, my view on teaching came to be reshaped. Yes, believe it or not, it did. Teaching cannot happen without celebration of one's individual abilities along with equality. We also looked at teaching strategies such as brainstorming and role-playing. According to Jefferson Buchanan 2022, the strategy offers them an avenue for active participation and understanding on a greater scale than theoretical learning, and that couldn't afford them the same thing in theoretical learning. I feel how important it would be to apply our different strategies to fit the needs of our students, like to use of puppets or some sort of role-playing object or role-playing script that would help some shy students build confidence enough in speaking. Another big area was reflective questioning. It was actually empowering learners to practice their skills in real-life situations that could occur. It empowers them to take ownership of their learning and really open my eyes. How reflective thoughtfulness can elevate the level of student agency and deepen the learning process. Alright, overall these insights this week fundamentally changed my view on teaching, I know that, and it's not just about delivering the content, but about the importance of inclusive practices and meaningful engagement. Thanks for tuning in today. Embrace thoughtful planning, inclusivity, and make a difference in every class, dear listener. Until next time, ciao. Hello and welcome back to the Corbin Spicer podcast. To touch on last week, we talked about inclusivity. Inclusivity also goes throughout the whole of PDHP, so don't get confused as I note how Gibson and McMahon say inclusive physical education is not simply about placing students in mainstream classes. It's about providing appropriate modifications, and it's about supporting them in all factions of their school career. So in that sense, with this week's podcast, week 9, we talked about mandatory reporting, cultural sensitivity, and sexual education, and that ties in with last week. One of the most powerful points of this week's tutorial provided was to show the importance of mandatory reporting. At times, I thought this was a very annoying thing to talk about because we went over it a lot, but now, through this tutorial, I understand this is one of the main key features of safeguarding students in our schools. By considering the New South Wales PDHP syllabus, I have further contextualised the depth of this responsibility and the need to take quick and appropriate actions if a student reveals a sensitive issue. This has reshaped my understanding of this significantly. We also explored the ways in which cultural beliefs systems influence communication. Previously, myself, I have not fully valued how other cultural backgrounds impact students' perceptions. This week, I learned the value of being inclusive and respectful by adjusting the means of communication. And understanding this has really helped me interact with students from all walks of life much more effectively. I also found the sexual education discussion very enlightening. Upon my reflection of my own learning experiences in this topic, back in Year 5 when I was at school, one realises that delivery is an age in which is sensitive and appropriate. Scott explains that there are significant consequences of the introduction of sexual education at the right point in students' development. Indeed, this insight has shifted my approach to focus on the need to tailor based on levels of maturity and comfort. We also discussed how to bring up body changes and personal boundaries. And learning how to teach these subjects is very clear. It is, as Wrench and Garrett in 2021 emphasised, that adequate information can empower the student to deal confidently with these changes. This has very much strengthened my resolve even more to ensure that all students will get the relevant information. Finally, the discussion on reporting to the principal has brought in clarity regarding the structural approach to sensitive information. This further develops my understanding of how compassion must be balanced with professional responsibility in supporting students. Overall, this week's tutorial 9 had deeply affected my professional development, and I am better informed about how best to teach and value these sensitive topics. It has significantly helped me understand how I can create a safe and inclusive learning environment. Alright, thank you for tuning in, and that said, good luck, and I will see you again in the future. Ciao. Hello, this is my final reflection for the whole great semester I had in learning PDHPE. Throughout the semester, I've learned a lot about PDHPE, and it is not just concerned with content, but rather the way in which children can learn. From week 2 to week 9, I have learned the importance of embedding thoughtful and contextual sensitive practices into my teaching. The learning activities throughout the semester were closely aligned with the key theories and content from the New South Wales K-6 PDHPE syllabus. We investigated various approaches that were subject to teaching life issues, including sexual education and body change, as well as every other thing we learned. Looking back, I am much more confident and motivated, and this semester has consolidated that PDHPE encompasses not just physical fitness, but emotional well-being, cultural awareness, personal safety, and physical education. I will now be able to provide a supportive and inclusive learning environment to address the diverse issues. Thanks for participating in this journey with me, and I hope to see you again one day soon. Thank you very much. Ciao.